Hi, it's me, Jojo. Based on my t-shirt, can you tell what I'm going to be talking about today? That's right, I will be ranking the 2022 Formula One Driver of the Day photos. For more context, I would check out the video that I made last year for this. It provides why I'm even doing this in the first place, what the heck Formula One is, and what the heck Driver of the Day photos are. So check that out if you have no idea what I'm talking about. So before I get into it, just a reminder that these are multi-million-dollar athletes at the peak of their game, and we are not talking about their personal lives, the teams that they're on, how well they're doing, whatever. This is solely a ranking based on these silly photos that come out at the end of every race that just confuse the heck out of me, okay? Again, like last year, I screenshotted these myself from the Driver of the Day website, so I couldn't find these anywhere else. Like if you Google these drivers, these photos do not come up, which again just furthers the complexity of why they're even used in the first place. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. As I'm pulling this up, I also want to say that some of them made drastic improvements from their photos last year, and you'll see what I mean. But others, I feel like they let us slide a little bit in 2022, and that's just a bummer. We will be talking about these drivers in alphabetical order, which means first up we have Albon. He drives for Williams Racing. We're so happy to see him back this season. But is he happy to be back? Because he looks a little sad. Albon, you look a little sad. You kind of look like someone just stole your kitten. A little bit. I really like the crisp uniform and the lighting and everything, but I think it's zoomed out too much, and you have so much gray space on either side of him. If it were me doing this, which it's not, I would have zoomed him in a little bit, take a little bit of the black space of his uniform out of the picture, make his shoulders go to the borders more, and you just get to see more of his face. With that being said, I do really like how centered it is, and I like that his hair is nice and neat, but overall, I think this has just gotta be B tier. No, I think C tier. All right, next up, Alonso. Alonso is driving for Alpine or Alpine if you're in America. If you remember last year, Alonso kind of had this very regal pose and lighting and editing for some reason, but this year, he looks just like a dude. He looks like a dude playing in a cornhole tournament in my hometown. You know what I mean? His hair is really nice. He's got a little bit of flyaways, but overall not too bad. His beard's really contained. And honestly, his expression is just really nice. He looks confident, but also mature. And he is centered almost dead on in his photo. So I really have no qualms with this one, but it's not like blowing me away. So I'm gonna put this in A tier. Next up, we have Bottas, who is driving for Alfa Romeo. Right off the bat with Bottas, I just noticed how hopeful he looks. I don't know if he's just really excited for the new season or whatever, but he just is looking really nice, really well put together. His hair is really nice. His suit, uniform, kit, I don't know what they call it. His suit thing just looks really good. And the only kind of qualm I have with that is that the angle is kind of severe with his shoulder. So it looks like his, what would that be? His right arm is cut off, but I don't know. I don't really have any issues with this one. Again, just a little left of center for my liking, but it doesn't really bother me. So we are going to put this in A tier. All right, next is Pierre Gasly driving for AlphaTauri. He looks really confident, but what the heck happened to your arm? Where did it go? Clearly your arm is behind, or you got some mustard on your suit and they photoshopped it out. Why was that choice made? It's so awkward. There's just this like weird shoulder flappy thing sticking out and your arm is nowhere to be seen. That's the only thing I can look at, so I'm gonna try to not pay attention to that while I look at the rest of your photo. Okay, the beard looks nice, the suit looks nice, your hair looks nice. Because of the arm, I just am so distracted. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put this in C tier. All right, next is Zhou Guanyu driving for Alfa Romeo. I really like this one. He has a nice, more front angle than Bottas did, his teammate. So whoever was running these pictures was not aiming for consistency. He has just such a nice smile and his hair looks really nice. He's just slightly left of center. His suit is laying nice and flat. He takes up most of the frame. You know what? We got our first S tier of the day, everybody. Zhou Guanyu, welcome to Formula One and good driver of the day photo. Whoever's on your PR team deserves a raise. Next, we have Sir Lewis Hamilton driving again for Mercedes. Last year, if you don't remember, he had his like thumbs together in front of him, and he was the only driver with his hands in the photo. So it was just odd. It was just odd. But this year, he has his hands at his side. He's got a really stern pose. He looks intimidating. You know, some drivers just want to be serious in these photos, which, okay, I get it. I really like the cropping of this one. Like, he's zoomed in enough that you don't have any awkward arm things going on, not a lot of gray spaces left. I personally feel like the angle seems a bit low, like he seems to be looking down instead of head on. I think that he's really well centered in the frame, so I'm gonna put this in A tier. I think they did a good job with this one. Okay, next is Nicholas Latifi driving for Williams. So like Albon, what the heck is going on with the cropping at the Williams PR team? Look how much uniform is just blank that's left in the photo, and I totally would have cropped it differently so that you could see more of his arms, but all that being said, Latifi looks so good in this picture. He looks so nice. What a soft smile. You can tell he practiced in a mirror. This really does him justice. Like, despite the weird cropping, he's really well centered and his uniform looks really nice. If the angling and the zooming had been slightly better, this could have been an S tier, but because of that weird gray space, it's going in A tier. All right, next up, Casper the Ghost's friend himself, Charles Leclerc driving for Ferrari. Again, why is just with all this weird gray space? It's not as bad as the Williams one, but definitely they could have zoomed in a little bit more. That being said, he just looks a little sour. Is that a good word for it? I don't know, he looks a little sour. I do like his hair. It looks shorter than it was last year, or at least at the time of taking this picture. I do really like the way that his uniform looks and the angle. You can see his arms defined really well. But overall, I think it just should have been more zoomed in, a little bit more cropped, and it would have had more of an effect. So because of that, I'm just gonna put this in A tier. I have a lot of A's so far. Oh well. So far, a pretty strong bunch. Next up, driving for Haas F1 team, we have Kevin Magnussen. Again, returning to F1 this season. So excited to see him back. I think this is a home run of a picture. They are taking up as much of the frame as humanly possible. His suit uniform thing looks really nice, got a couple wrinkles, whatever, but he is just giving shoulders. He is giving polished hair. He's giving soft smile, centered in the photo. Good action. And you know what? We've got our second S tier of the evening. This one is just so solid and good. I think if the only improvement I would make is to make his collar like thing in front just a little bit more crisp, but no complaints here from me. Next we have Lando Norris driving for McLaren. I don't know, the arms. Why do I get so distracted by the arms? Again, with the weird arm behind the back thing that leaves extra gray space on the left/right, and his collar just looks a little messy, to be honest. I think his facial expression is saying, I do not want to be here, I am tired, I want to eat a salad right now. His hair is really nice and the lighting's really nice, so good job on the people that put this photo shoot together. But overall, I kind of don't like this one. I don't like that you can't see his arm. I don't like his collar's messed up. So I think I have to put this one in D tier. Next up we have Esteban Ocon driving for Alpine. Good cropping, good centeredness, good facial expression. His hair looks really nice and neat. You know, Esteban Ocon was an S tier last year. And you know what? I think he's an S tier again this year because he really needs to teach his other drivers how to smize. He's got the smize down. So S is for smize, Ocon's an S tier. All right, next we have Sergio Perez driving for Red Bull. This is a huge improvement on last year's. He does not have anything weird going on with his hair. It is parted and neat. It doesn't look like he just took his helmet off like the one from last year. Again, I think the cropping could have been a little bit more zoomed in, but I guess they just wanted to include the top of the Red Bull logo for some reason. Overall though, nice soft smile, nice confident eyes, pretty well centered. So Sergio Perez, good job. I'm putting you in A tier. All right, next up we have Daniel Ricciardo driving for McLaren. Last year, if you don't remember, he was the only driver to open mouth smile in his photo, but not this year, ladies and gentlemen, and those in between. He is serious as he can be. Look at him. He looks concerned about climate change, everybody. I think he could have been zoomed in a little bit more. This angle is kind of making him look very tall. Maybe he wants to look tall. I mean, maybe that's not a bad thing. But I'm just getting this weird proportion thing going on that I don't think he wants. I think he could turn a little bit more toward camera. I think he could just soften up a little bit and this would have been improved. So I don't know. Daniel Ricciardo is such a goofy guy. And so to see him be so serious in his driver of the day photo, I don't know, maybe he's got goals. Maybe he's just hunting down something, but I'm just gonna put this in B tier. On the flip side, we have George Russell driving for Mercedes. He's open mouth smiling, everybody. He took a page out of Ricardo's book from last year and he is smiling. I really like this one. I think he looks really calm and collected. I really like his angle toward the camera there with his shoulders. His uniform looks really nice. His hair looks really nice. Overall, this is a solid contender. I think the only reason for me that it's not S tier is the lighting. I think with Hamilton's too, it just seems like the lighting's on the darker side. If you go back to Jojo news, his face is fully lit up. You can see all his features really well, but this one, the right side of his face is just kind of dark. And I don't know why that choice was made. So yeah, A tier. Moving right along, next we have Carlos Sainz driving for Ferrari. He has a soft smile. He just looks like happy Carlos, having a good day, about to go eat some yummy dinner. I don't know. I think the angle that he's at is really flattering for him. Oh, and I just noticed too, his fire suit is red, coordinated with his actual uniform thing. Is that how Leclerc's is? And I just didn't notice. Oh, you can't see it on Leclerc's, so no, I guess we don't know. I really like the coordination there, I guess. I really like this one, so you know what? S tier, here we come. Moving on, we have Mick Schumacher driving for Haas F1 team. Who stole your pretzels there, Mick? Who put too many jalapenos on your nachos, bud? Like, you just look so grumpy. We all have bad days, and maybe this was just a bad day, but you just look a little grumpy there, dude. Again, just kind of how Magnussen was. You are just facing the camera. The lighting's really nice. I think, too, that he's the only driver so far zoomed in that his shoulders actually kind of cut off from the frame a little bit. So they did too much here. Just, the expression just makes me feel so sad. So because of that, D tier. Next, we have Lance Stroll driving for Aston Martin. Lance, this is your best photo yet. The last 2 years, you just looked unbelievably weird. I don't know how else to say it. Your hair was weird, your expression was weird. But Lance, look at you! A second driver with an open mouth smile. Look at you. This one is too far to the left, personally, for my liking. This green is doing numbers for you. You look so nice and sharp. But because of the angle, I'm gonna have to keep you in A tier. Moving right along, we have Yuki Tsunoda driving for AlphaTauri. Again, just a bad zoom. I think that's just the lesson of the year. They could have zoomed in a little bit more. His hair is a little bit messy, a little bit frizzy. His fire suit is poking up a little too much. But overall, not too bad. I think this one's just solid B tier. Next, we have Max Verstappen driving for Red Bull. I had to look at my photo from last year to see if they just cropped his picture from last year onto his uniform from this year. Like, that's how consistent his facial expression is. A+ for consistency. Is it an S tier photo though? I'm not so sure. The cropping is different than their cropping that they did for Perez because, as I commented, you can see part of Perez's Red Bull logo, but you can't on Verstappen for some reason. With that being said, you can see his right arm, so that's good. You can see his fire suit. He just looks like that is his resting face, so not a lot of expression going on. But because of the consistency and because, I really can't fault the angle or the cropping or anything, I'm gonna go with A tier. Lastly, we have Sebastian Vettel driving for Aston Martin. Oh my gosh, he does not have a hat on. Yes, in 2021, Sebastian Vettel was the only driver that was wearing a hat. But this year, look at those luscious locks that he's just let loose. Let loose those luscious locks, Vettel. He just looks like a really proud dad. His hair could be slightly neater, but long hair is a little bit messy. Just look at me. I really like the way that his suit is laying, so I'm just gonna put this in A tier. So that is the 2022 driver lineup. But wait, there's more. I had to capture these driver of the day photos from 2 different races this season. So far, there have been 3 races. The first race happened, I was on vacation. The second race happened, I watched it live Sunday morning. I captured the photos. I went to count them, 18. What? How do I only have 18 photos? Oh, wait. There have been 2 drivers that crashed out or did not start, I forget the circumstances, early enough in the race that their photos were not displayed at the end of the race to vote on driver of the day. Well, I can't make a video with just 18 of the drivers. And actually, it was only 17 of the 2022 drivers because Vettel was out with COVID. And in his place was Nico Hulkenberg driving for Aston Martin. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have a bonus photo this year. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, what a strong contender. I am so glad that I watched that race to take these photos because this is serving looks. This is giving me sass. This is giving me, I'm here and I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity. This is giving crossing arms in front, but it doesn't really matter because he is facing the front so strongly. Yes, he's cut off. Yes, his hair's a little bit wild, but that expression is so strong. And Hulkenberg, good job. You are certainly making the most of being in this race. So you know what? I'm gonna put this in S tier because he deserves it. There you have it. Those are all the driver photos I have captured for this season. Was it worth staying up till 2 a.m. to watch the Australian Grand Prix to capture the final 3 pictures? I sure hope so. Comment below if you think it was worth it. Who was your favorite? What did I get wrong? Let me know. If you liked what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more weekly or bi-weekly content. All right, that is all, and I will see you next week. Bye.